Hi, Ollie, how you doing?
Yeah.
Cool. Can you tell us, first of all, just going into the match, knowing obviously that Zach was going to miss out, did you, as a batsman or as a batting group, feel that sense of responsibility, obviously knowing that there was a little bit more of the burden going to fall on your shoulders?
It's not necessarily something that's spoken about really. Obviously, we've got one less sort of out-and-out batter on the side, but I think mentally we know that's something we talk about a lot. Is if we get ourselves in, we want to cash in and make it sort of as long and big as possible. So I think that's a massive part of our team's ethic. Is we want to try and bat long as individuals and try and get those 400 plus first inning scores. So I think that we'd like to, ideal world, you don't need sort of the lower order to do that. Hopefully we can do it ourselves, but I think, I think naturally we're going to think like that.
In your own innings, did you feel different after the sort of top edge that went up towards Roston Chase on the onside? It seemed sort of in that period after you had that mini little chance, really, you reeled off a whole load of boundaries. Did it just feel like something had clicked after that?
Not necessarily. I think sometimes things like that can make you switch on a little bit, and I think today probably sums up batting pretty perfectly. I think I didn't feel great necessarily probably for my first 50 runs. I got a little bit of luck. I edged one that dropped just short of slip. I feel like in my first innings, I didn't play a miss in the first one, nicked it straight away, and then you get one, you chop on. Normally they can go to 5 leg for 3, so I think 5 leg for a single. So I think that today probably sums up batting in my mind. Luck is involved in sometimes, and I think you've got to sort of make the most of your chances when they do come around.
Thank you, cheers.
Okay, Lawrence, and then Dean, please.
Hi, Ollie. How much of a relief is it to score runs in a series where, for obvious reasons, you've not been able to escape the cricket and perhaps had a bit more time to dwell on things than you would normally have?
Yeah, to be honest, for myself, I think it's a really nice feeling this evening because obviously I've missed out on those first 2 games. And not being able to get away, I think you sort of walk back to your hotel after you've got out in sort of the last 2 hours of the day and you're looking over the cricket ground and there's no real escape from it. You can't go out for dinner, you can't go for coffee, you can't see your family. So it isn't easy. So I think you can naturally think about your batting, think about your failures a little bit more than normal. So to get a few runs today it is a nice feeling.
You feel a bit of a burden has been lifted for the reasons you've just outlined?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hopefully I can go on and make it a big one. But it's always a nice feeling. I think that's part of cricket, though. You've got to try and stay as level as you can, especially as a batter. There's as many bad days as there's good days, even for the best in the world. So you've got to try and deal with those bad ways in the best way possible. Just, in my mind, you've got to try and stay level, which is what I'm trying to get better at.
Thank you.
Okay, Dean and then George, please.
Hi, Ollie. Evening. Well played. What would it mean to you to get to that 3-figure landmark on home soil for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be, I guess, a massive achievement for myself. I think, obviously, so far, I think I played 4 Test matches before this in England, and I haven't scored the runs that I would like to score. And I guess there's people talk a little bit, and I've seen some comments, but I think it's not a massive sample size to take it from. I like to think my batting's. I mean, I've played all my first-class cricket in England, so I don't look into that stuff too much, but to get over the line, it'd be a nice feeling, I guess. For those 9 runs, hopefully they'll come at some point.
And I guess as well, when you're dreaming of scoring big runs at home, in your mind you've got family and friends sat in the stand somewhere, and you can just turn to them. Got some tickets for them, but obviously it would be a bit different tomorrow. How do you think that changes it at all in your mind, or will it be just as special?
I don't want to talk about it too much yet because I haven't got that. If it did happen, it would be just as special. I know. I guess there's a lot of my mates, a lot of my family there. They'll be watching closely back home, and it's very, when you do well, they're as happy. My mum and dad, they're as happy for me as sort of after the day. So I know it'd be a really nice feeling for them as well. If I do get there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dean. George, please.
Well, Barrett, I just wondered how it felt with the West Indies out there today. It seemed that they started to get really tired, quite a lot of overs in the legs of their bowlers and fielders, I guess, in the second half of the day, and you really capitalised. Was that obvious when you were out there?
To be honest, it was. You could sort of tell the difference in atmosphere between when I first went into bat and how it felt at the end. I guess they've played the same seam attack for all 3 games. Obviously, Joseph's not playing this game, but those 3 bowlers have played each game. And, so at the end there, because the wicket was sort of playing pretty nicely for us, and we just tried to sort of cash in while they did probably have they've had a lot of overs in their legs. So yeah, there was a slight difference in atmosphere between sort of when I first went out to bat and then when I batted at the end. But it's not like they bowled badly at all. I don't feel that they bowled badly. They still hit their areas. And but I guess with that second new ball as well, when you do have 2 in-set batsmen, it can be quite a nice time to bat. But yeah, the noise was slightly different, but they still had the same quality. I think Joss played really well as well. I think that sort of helped sort of the momentum of the game sort of shift a little bit in our direction.
Thank you.
John, please.
Hi, Ollie. You were saying that there's no opportunity to go out for a meal or have a coffee even in the evenings. I just wonder how you do spend your evenings, and are they much more gloomy when you've just chopped on and got out for 12, for example?
You try and make them not seem as gloomy. You try to keep upbeat, but I guess it does. You do have more time on your own. You do have a little bit more time to dwell over things, and then you can't. Your bedroom's looking over the cricket ground. So it is, like I said, it is quite hard to get away. We spend our evenings. We've got a few different groups going on. Some of the lads enjoy playing cards in the evenings. A lot of the lads sort of play a bit of Xbox. A few lads just enjoy settling in, watching a film. A few of the lads get a delivery in together. But there's still sort of communications and stuff. We still sort of stick together, whether that be playing a game of cards or just playing a bit of Xbox together. To be honest, we're still all playing, sort of doing some sort of thing together, which is nice. It's sort of, there's always someone to chat to. There's always someone to have a laugh with, which is nice.
Thank you.
And last question, Stephen.
Hello, Ollie. You've got quite a few hours in the 90s now. How do you think you'll feel this evening and tomorrow morning? Do you think you'll sleep well, or will you be quite nervous?
Happier than I was when I chopped on for 12, to be honest. But I don't know. Obviously, you want to get your 100. I'll try and just switch off from it for the evening. Try sort of put a film on, maybe take a sleeping tab just before bed to help me hit the hay. And hopefully it doesn't rain all day tomorrow. So hopefully we have a chance to get out there and put on a few more runs. And hopefully it's not too long.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.
Cheers.